Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving into a massive global phenomenon, but we're going to look at it through a completely unexpected lens. We are treating the lyrics of the mega-hit Despacito not just as a catchy pop song, but as an absolute masterclass in visual storytelling, pacing, and cinematic structure. Seriously, if you read these lyrics like a screenplay, an entirely new world opens up. You know how every truly great movie starts with an inciting incident, right? That one split second where the world changes? Well, we are starting right at that exact moment with this brilliantly cinematic metaphor of unavoidable attraction. You're the magnet, and I'm the metal. It instantly sets up the physics of this relationship. It's a fundamental, just irresistible pull that sets the whole plot into motion.
And that irresistible pull brings us perfectly into Act 1, the inciting attraction.
Like any solid script, our story needs characters. And right away, the lyrics establish the dynamic between the pursuer and the pursued. It's a classic dance, but watch how carefully it's choreographed for us. The timeline methodically accelerates the narrative tension. The song starts with a really wide, broad shot, looking at you for a long time. Then the camera zooms into the specific day. I must dance with you today. Then we're down to the minutes, getting closer and making a plan. And finally, we hit the immediate split-second physical reaction. All my senses are asking for more. The metaphorical camera is literally zooming in, tightening the shot from a distant gaze to an immediate physical demand.
And just as that tension absolutely peaks, we get this crucial line. We cannot do this in a rush. So right when your heart starts racing alongside the characters, the lyrical director deliberately pumps the brakes. It's a fantastic storytelling trick to build massive anticipation rather than just rushing straight to the climax.
That deliberate pause launches us right into Act 2, directing the pace.
In this second act, the real power of the narrative lies entirely in the manipulation of speed, or, the whole concept of doing things despacito, slowly. Notice how the lyrics break down the action here. These aren't just vague romantic notions. These highly tactile sensory steps structure the poetry into a clear visual sequence of events. First, breathing on the neck. Next, undressing in kisses. Then, signing the walls of a labyrinth. It's essentially a storyboard. The songwriter is giving exact, sequential stage directions on how this intimate scene plays out on screen.
And this elegantly brings us to a really beautiful literary metaphor. By defining the physical body as a manuscript, something painstakingly written by hand, the songwriter forces us to visualize a slow, deliberate, and deeply intentional act of authorship. It's not some hurried text. It is a masterpiece being created in real time.
But hey, a movie needs dynamic contrast, right? If it stays at one slow pace the entire time, you're going to lose the audience. So the script suddenly speeds up to introduce these rapid-fire rhythmic heartbeats. Ba-dang, ba-dang. This sudden burst completely challenges that previous slowness. It acts like a spike in the audio track, reminding us of the underlying pulse and the pure adrenaline that's pumping right underneath that calculated exterior.
And this brilliantly illustrates the push and pull tension of the characters. I'm actually going to speed up my delivery here just to match this rhythmic juxtaposition. Savagely versus softly. Malice paired with delicacy. We come up against each other little by little. The script is bouncing us back and forth between these opposing forces, creating an incredibly rhythmic, almost dizzying contrast that perfectly mimics a passionate dance.
Then we hit this great moment of realization. And it's just that your beauty is a puzzle, but to finish it here, I have the missing piece. This lyric works as a really clever plot device. It signals to the audience that these two contrasting forces, the magnet and the metal, the savage and the soft, are finally locking together. The setup is done, and all the pieces are perfectly in place for the finale.
So, we are now entering our final act, the geography of romance.
Here, our director pulls off a massive visual shift. We're transitioning from the extreme, intimate close-up shots of whispering voices and beating hearts to a much wider, grander setting. The language completely expands, mapping out a literal physical journey. They guide our mental camera through these intimate favorite places, actually venturing into forbidden danger zones. It's a true exploration. This geographic language escalates the stakes until the tension reaches an absolute boiling point, a point where someone is pushed to literally forget your last name.
And then, boom, this is our grand finale wide shot. The narrative camera pans all the way out to a breathtaking beach in Puerto Rico. The scope is suddenly massive. And what's truly cinematic here is that the environment itself becomes a screaming character in our climax. It's not just about the people anymore. The emotion is so huge that the waves themselves are screaming, "Oh Lord!" The passion has completely overtaken the landscape.
Following that incredible climax, the narrative resolves with this definitive, grounding statement, "So that my seal stays with you." It's the denouement. It ensures a lasting, permanent cinematic impact on the pursued character. The movie might be over, but the mark it left is completely indelible.